Hey guys, Heavy Arms 45 here. Um, yep, it's another Sunday, and I did tell y'all I was gonna do this, so this is my video on the Be Honest Anime Opinions. And going from what I have on my list, um, I got a few. It's looks like it might be, yeah, it's a little bit more than what I have in my A. So let's go ahead with it. The first one that I want to talk about, that I have on my list, is Bacano. Bacano. The only reason I watched Bacano was because I watched Durarara. So watching Bacano is not the same as watching Durarara, and I'll get to Durarara when I get to D's. Bacano is very, I want to say, science fiction and mystical at the same time. Um, it's a good show, but you have to kind of focus on it because just about everything in each one of the scenes has a deeper meaning in it than what the just one thing is. Um, there's You have immortals, monsters, killers, gangsters. It's all like very uh puzzling. So like I said, you have to stay focused because I know the first time I tried to watch it, because I have watched it a couple times. The first time I tried to watch it though, it was kind of disorienting because I kind of like drifted off. I left it running and came back and I saw it and I was like, what in the world's going on? Who is this? And you have to make sure that you like follow the story. So it's one of those that you have to take possibly a second look at it sometimes because you might have missed something. Well, you're definitely gonna miss something. Um, and like I said, when I went through the second time, I understood Bacano, and it's hilarious. It's a little bit gory, but it's a fun watch, I would say. The next anime I have on my list is Beck. Now I have Beck, but I haven't watched Beck, and I probably should have did that before I made this video. But um, Beck is one of those that people suggested to me, and so I'm gonna suggest if you've seen, please leave a comment. Maybe you can say something about it, but um, that's not to make y'all do work. I'm all of a sudden I'm like, they're like, he's making us do work. No, I'm not trying to make you do work. I'm just saying that I've never watched Beck, but it seems like if you're a person who watches anime, that is one that comes up a lot of times when you're talking about anime. Like, and it goes with, there are some other ones that I haven't seen that I said that I should see, like, or Oran High School Club. I think that's the right way to say it. And people tell me you should watch that, and it's on my list to watch. I just have not seen it. Please forgive me. Um, the next one on my list is Berserk. Now, Berserk is different. Um, Berserk is, well, you back to kind of like other stuff, and when it comes to American, well, English period, we love the medieval times, and Berserk is sort of somewhat of a medieval time show. Yeah. So the whole point of it is people are basically back in times of swords and shields, and you're not talking about like Japanese katanas, but like literally like medieval, like I said, swords and shields with fully clothed in metal, and you have your demonic monsters and some higher than what they should have, seems like technology in some cases, but for the most part, it works for them. Um, and of course, you have your large anime weapon that no one should be able to pick up, but they do. You have love, betrayal. And parts of the story is technically still going on because it kind of left on cliffhanger. It's kind of like how it was in Yasha. You know, for years you were waiting for the villain to finally get their comeuppance, and it hasn't really happened yet when it comes to Berserk. The main villain that you find out was the villain from the first beginning that you thought was cool at the beginning. Just hasn't we haven't killed him, so he's just still kind of out there. And yeah, um, I would say that Berserk is something worth watching. It is gory. It is somewhat, I'm about to say foul, but it's not foul. It's just there's a lot of gore, and if you don't have a problem with that, you know, which some people do. Um, Another one, the technically a new kid on the block, Black Clover. Now, Black Clover been around for about 100 episodes, which means we'll give it about 3, 4, 5 years. So it's been out for a while. Um, when it comes to Black Clover, of course, it's a great watch. It's one of the I don't know. I don't think it's in the th- top three of the shonens, but I want to say that it's at least in the top 5 or 10, because if you know, there's a lot of shonen, and I think he is in the top group. I can't really recall who is the top three right now. I would want to say that it's uh, Dragon Ball Z, One Piece, and My Hero Academia. But I could be wrong. I'd have to look at the list right now. But um, maybe when I do C, which looking at it might be, yeah, I'll probably just have to do C because D is longer than C. Um, but yeah, but Black Clover, like Matt, it's magic, devils. It's it's a fun watch. It's something that um it has some levels of seriousness where you're like, oh no, this is really bad. But also it has that blend that you do get out of a lot of anime where it is comical. There's a lot of comical stuff that happens in it. And you have your serious stuff. It's not it's not a lot of romance, but there's a lot of suggested romance, kind of like with just about anything. You know, did Goku know that Chi Chi was in love with him? No. But that was a level of romance and what. Like you have people who think that somebody is attractive, but basically says nothing to them. Um, and in a way is opposite of Berserk, because Berserk has no um not happen funny moments. It's mostly complete utter darkness and anger, um and mostly right. You have times where people show a romantic side of them and things like that, but for the most part it's just life is so miserable type thing for them. Like their life in Berserk was a constant fight, while in Black Clover yeah, their life is a fight, but they seem to be able to find humor in their personalities to be able to continue on with their lives, even though things are not. People always seem to, they're going to attack them or they are being attacked. There's not a time where they're just there's not many times in Black Clover where they're just relaxing. They're always having something else to do that they have to get taken care of. And it's and I think that's fine for the most part. Another black anime is called Black Lagoon. Black Lagoon is a very modern anime. It's about a bunch of hired guns. Basically, you hire them to do a job, they'll do it. They come from an island full of people that basically, for the right amount of money, they'll do any job. And so, that's basically what it's about. They work with different mafias and um, mobs and stuff like that to do different jobs, and they have guns. It's like I said, it's a very somewhat modern show. I think it was made in the 2000s. I'm not sure, like probably mid to late 2000s, and you're following basically four characters as they go through different things, and it's a very interesting question when you watch this anime because the question is between the four main characters that you have. Um, do they? The question is, out of those four, there's three of them that they've been together for years, and there's one who's brand new, and he's trying to do stuff more diplomatically and trying not to uh tries to find ways not to shoot people. And the other guys, they're like, sometimes you gotta shoot somebody. And he just constantly kind of like gets on the female character's nerves because he's always trying to find a different way than what she knows has to be done. Because he feels like everyone is so innocent and pure, and there are people just like him that doesn't want to do violence. They can find other um, diplomatic ways to get stuff taken care of. And she, on the other hand, feels like, hey, the world is full of trash people, and if they want to point a gun at me, I'm gonna shoot right back at them. And so she's somewhat, I guess you could say, not bloodthirsty, but she's apathetic to the idea of shooting someone. If you shoot at me, I'm gonna shoot back at you, or I'm going to shoot you before you shoot me. Um, another one that another anime that I have is Bleach. Now I've heard that Bleach is coming back for um to finish out what happens in the anime because where the anime stops is like one saga technically shy of what where it actually ends at when it comes to Bleach. So they're going back supposedly and going through that ending, which technically Bleach ending in the manga was not really favored. You saw a lot of cool things during that last saga. Don't get me wrong. You get to see you get to see different people's bonkais that you never saw bonkai. You get to find out what the name of Kenpachi's sword is. You find out what else do you find? You find out that Kenpachi was not the first Kenpachi, which I think we somewhat knew that, but we found out that another one of the captains is was also a Kenpachi because Kenpachi is not his name. Kenpachi is his title. Uh, and so Kenpachi is a title given to a great killer, I guess you could say, in a way. And so they're supposed to be doing that. But when it comes to Bleach the show, um, I liked Bleach. When it was coming on, I was downloading from a Bleach website all the different episodes. Like every week, I was recording it, and I enjoyed it. My problem really with Bleach was the filler episodes. Like, and there were so many of them. And the Bleach uh filler episodes were somewhat worse than you could find other places. Like in Dragon Ball Z, you have during the time when they're getting ready for the Cell games, for some reason, Chi Chi decides to have Goku go out and try to learn how to drive a car. So, that's the episode. Or he has to do something around the house. That's the episode. You had filler items happening in Dragon Ball Z. You have filler stuff happening in Naruto. Literally, I want to say maybe the last 50 episodes of Naruto, before you get into Naruto Shippuden, is literally Naruto trying to find ways to get Sasuke back. Like the stink bug that once it shoots its sperm, it'll follow you forever. That was literally one of the things that they did to try and find a way to get Sasuke back. And that's literally a lot of what they did. I think the only thing that I can think of that was actually no, they already had taught Lee how to. Lee had already learned how to use his legs again. So there was literally nothing but trying to find Sasuke during that time. But those 50 episodes was not as bad as Bleach. Bleach had an entire saga, one behind the like literally we're in the middle of the war with Aizen, and we cut to the idea of what if the Zanpato spirits decided to reject their masters and start attacking them. And I'm like, why are we here? How did we get here? I'm like, we and I wouldn't have felt bad about it if this hadn't happened for an entire year. Like for a whole year, we were just watching this. And then you have the Bound arc, which also, technically, if I remember correctly, is not in the manga. It's a whole nother arc that's just filling up time. And so it makes me feel like uh the whole thing dealing with the Bleach anime was rushed. You know, they rushed him on making the ending to the manga. So when he did, it came out. He gave them just threw something up there on what he could do, and without letting him finish it up. They rushed the animation of it, so we had to try and make filler so that it didn't jump up to where the anime was. I mean, to where the manga is. Because if you look at like One Piece had like maybe 3, 4 fillers at a time. Then they got to a story. But when you get to the whole idea of it, when it comes to like One Piece, that I was trying to say, sure they have sections that take a while, but they never get away from the continuity. Like they'll give you some like little story of we're while we were trying to get here, this happened. They don't cut in the middle of a whole story to get stuff to go on. But you see that like if you watch the anime that they had come out yesterday or today, it's at least 30 manga chapters behind the manga. I mean, yeah, it's about 30 at least maybe 30 chapters from where the manga is. Like where I'm watching what's happening in Wano in the manga, like I heard about, like I'm watching in the anime something that I heard about maybe a year ago in the manga, you know, because like I said, I don't exactly read Bleach, but I do like listening to Tekken 101 when he's talking about it. So what I'm hearing about what's going on in the episode of Bleach that happened today literally happened, I want to say a year ago when I was watching it from Tekken talking about it. So that's that's something different. And Bleach just it it felt like it dragged with the whole thing of filler episodes. The filler made to where it was not difficult to watch, but you could take time away from it and you wouldn't have missed anything. Um, Kind of like Inuyasha, and I'll talk about him right now because I don't have him. When it comes to Inuyasha, Inuyasha had the same thing. You had several episodes where people lost interest because you didn't have anything that was basically accelerating the story. Like for several episodes, well, for I don't know if I want to say 100 episodes because I literally lost track of how many times they fought Naraku and the same stuff happened. And basically they had to constantly keep fighting him, but nothing really increased what was going on in the story until finally when they like went on hiatus and then came back and said, "Hey, we're going to go ahead and end the season now." And that was when they finally got people coming out like, okay. And in the end, no one, like all the moves that Inuyasha had, like when they saw it 5 years ago or let's say 10 years ago, I'm not really sure, were still the same moves that he was using when he fought Naraku at the in the final chapters. So it was, I don't know if I want to say anticlimactic, but it was just, it was like, why didn't we do this a long time ago? This could have been done without like trying to fill this fill this time up with all these extra episodes. And I've gone on a tangent because filler is effective when it allows you to put space between you and your original work. Um, they could have also, if you want to be technical, did away with whatever they was on do that went with the went with the manga and went with something that was anime original. Um, who's done that? Full Metal Alchemist did that because Full Metal Alchemist, the original one, was it got to a point farther than what they were expecting, and they just went ahead and veered off the story into what the anime made up their own ending. And then when you come back and watch Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, that is going more detail with what the manga did. They could have actually did that, but no, they created fillers like, hey, we're going to try and stay dedicated to the story, and it was so I I'm still gonna go back to, I do like Bleach. My favorite character is not though. My favorite character is not Ichigo though. My favorite character is Chad. So yep, love me some Chad. Him and his El Diablo. Now the last one on my list is uh Bongo Stray Dogs. Bongo Stray Dogs is somewhat like My Hero Academia, where different people have a uh certain quirk. It's not like how My Hero Academia is where everyone has it, but there's like certain people that are born with this ability that no one else can do. Like there's one person who can control gravity, and there's an one person who he is like this eternal tiger that no one can technically kill. So like people want to capture him, and there's one guy who his special power is money. It is so hilarious to me. Like the more money he has, the stronger he becomes. So like one of the most to me in the anime most epic fights that went on was they're in this hot air balloon and they're fighting him, and he's literally connected to this bank account, and like every time someone hits him it takes money out of his bank account. So he's like constantly fighting and draining through his bank account, and he had like millions of dollars. I was like, oh my goodness. I'm like, he was one of them people that if I could give him all the money in the world, he might be one of the people that could be Goku. Um, I'm just playing. Uh, he wouldn't have had a chance. But it was interesting. What like I've never saw somebody who, and if you've seen it, I'm sorry if I'm ignorant to it, but I've never seen a character who could basically fight based off of how strong he gets from how much money he has. Like literally, he is dirt poor, and someone has to teach him the value of coupons. And he's going out like buying stuff like, hey, they're having a sale here for this and this. Because he was a rich kid. He never heard of coupons. So now he's dirt poor, living in like a bunch of I'm about to say cardboard boxes, but shanty houses, um, trying to figure out what he's going to do with his life because he's now broke. And it's something that was entertaining to me to watch. And I'm talking about him like he's the main character. No, he was the villain in the end of the first season. Um, the tiger and this person who I want to say could neutralize people's abilities were the two main characters. And one of them just wants to die. He likes to try and kill himself. The other one can't die. So it's like, yeah, that's interesting. Oh yeah, and there's one that basically can send you to another world. There's a girl who has a ghost. Well, it has like a little spirit person. Well, a large spirit person that's kind of like her avatar that she uses to kill people. So yeah, as you can hear, I did enjoy watching it, and a lot of the shows that I've talked about in this conversation, Bacano, I loved watching. Like I said, I'd never seen, uh, looked at Beck yet. Berserk, I liked watching. Black Butler, Black Lagoon, Bleach, and Straight Bongo Stray Dogs. I did like watching. They do have their own little things. Um, like I said, once you figure out where you're at in Bleach, you probably could skip over stuff, and you probably have a good time looking at the main story. If you want to watch the filler stuff, be my guest. Like I said, it doesn't increase the story. It doesn't make anyone better. Um, and if you have the heart for it, Berserk is one of those that like you can watch. It's it is something that I can guess I could say it kind of hurt me at times that somebody betrayed his friend so bad like that because you're buddies. How would you imagine if this person who got you out of the dirt made you feel good about yourself, put you into, let's say, a new suit and all this stuff, suddenly turns around and like tries to kill you? What? You just saved me. Why in the world would you do this? But I guess that's the thing that happens in movies. They're like, you know, I needed you. I needed someone like what? Sasuke? Sasuke's like, Naruto, you're my best friend. You're mine too. But I have to kill you. What? We were finally getting a friendship. I hate you. I I hate you too. Really, I love you, man. But you gotta die. Why? Because I need better eyes. Yeah. Well, that's the end of my be honest opinions. So I'm gonna go ahead and uh end it here. If you liked what you hear, put a comment down. Um and I'll catch you later.